the first thing I did before I wrote up my program and thing, I went and found a picture for reference, and now I made a new layer above it, and I'm going to use the airbrush tool and blue for my basic thing. I'm gonna flip this because honestly, it's just a more personal thing, but I draw this way better. I don't know why. It's kind of weird, but oh well. So I just try. I'm not exact on it, but I try to get it as close as I can to what it looks like. And it doesn't matter how it comes out with your base sketch, because you're going to re-go and do this again. So it's okay if you mess up. Plus, art's about learning how to do this stuff, so there's no shame in messing up once in a while. And I should use red, because now red is being weird. Oh well. Then that would be the tail part. Now here's the leg. As you can see, it kind of... I'm probably bad when it comes to hind legs, so forgive me if my hind legs are somewhat suckish. I was never the best at drawing hind legs, or legs in general. So you may have to go with someone else for the legs, because legs are my forte. Oh my god, it's horrible, but close enough. Okay, once you have your base sketch that is hopefully better than mine at this point, you can go ahead and start. Oh my god, this is bad. Oh, my art teachers would probably... My art teacher would probably smack me. Now, if I think about it, oh god, no. I'm just gonna get this as close as I possibly can. Just don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I'm butchering this at this point. Oh, wow. I pray that you all do so much better than me. Because, I'm making myself want to cry. Okay, now that you have your base sketch thing that is hopefully a heck of a lot better than mine, we can start the facial detailing thingamabob. And I'm going to move my lines closer so I can see what I'm doing. And now we begin the face. So I always just do my basic shapes. For some reason I find the eyes to be somewhat easier, I guess. Except this one's being weird. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select it. You can use this little select line tool and freeform it to however you want it to look. And that is close enough for me. And continuing with our face, kind of lines, of course, mouth, that's here, nose. So far, okay. It's hard. These little eyebrow marks. Looks kind of like, what you look at? Anyways, here's our wolf face. And we can merge that layer down. And now we begin the inner ears, which it looks like little bit to the side. So you gotta kind of watch your point of view, what you're doing. Also the size airbrush I'm using for the detail is on 30. If that's how your size brushes. And his other ear, I can't tell if he has it turned or what. I believe he has it turned. So we're just gonna make it kind of flat there. Now you just do all your little details. All this fluff. And if you're making like your wolf OCs, same thing if you're like just making their hair or anything, just take a little bit of a bigger brush, and that's a little too big. Oops. Go back to 3. You just make their hair however you want it to be. And by however, I mean however ridiculously anime-ish you want. Like I do a lot with my characters. Sad but true. Oh, no, that's not really sad. Oops. But yes. My characters when they're anime-ish hair. So that is that. I'm gonna make that a little bit darker so I can see it. There we go. Merge those then and continue with your details. And you don't have to stay where your baselines are, because that's all just going to be your... You're going to take outside of your details anyway. Your baseline art doesn't have to be perfect. Because you might want to change it in the, you might use a different background or something that'll cover parts of it. Who knows? Might actually turn out better than you planned. My paws, I'm not that great with paws, as you can see. This looks big, like this part here. So I'm just gonna place that. That paw just doesn't look, it looks weird in general, but I'll live with it. Continue. Also, I sometimes like to use more than one layer, just as extra precautions. So sometimes I mess up, and then if that happens, you kind of mess up sometimes the whole thing, and it makes you want to just go insane. Yeah, it's happened to me so much. And it makes me want to, like, just, I don't even know, some kind of something, with this, all of our details. Also, if you want, you can get rid of your reference now, that way you can actually see what the heck you're doing. Also, I think it's with the canines, their middle toes are always longer than their side toes. So keep that in mind. Well, his foot here is like the one that just makes me want to cry, because it looks so, oops, off. But, oh well, it's life. Life is like lemons. Gives you lemons, throw back and scream and give, I wanted candy. Except sadly that never works. Now if you want, you can like add stuff to your character, like their markings and that. But that's up to you. I'm just gonna make mine my simple markings. Very old OC I used to have. I have lots of old OCs that I haven't used for long times. this one here I'm making, what was her name again? See, I can't even remember my own character's name. That is sad. Zig, I think was a nickname, but I used to RP her a lot. She was one of my favorite characters. And the first one I had. I miss her. Or RP her at least. Rush. I know what's the good. But too big. Okay. Now you have like your, excuse me, your base lines and all your little details in. Now you can get rid of your this picture, and what you want to do is make a layer, above this layer, and take the transparency on your lines down to just where you can still see them. And if you want, you can go in up here in this new line work layer, which it makes like your lines more curvy and accurate, I guess. And you can actually like edit them the way you want. But for me, I usually just stick with my trusty brush tool. Trusty brush tool. There we go. Can't draw. There we go. Blah. I need to get into practice again. Come on. I haven't drawn this character in so long that I should be jailed for character abuse. Okay, now we have some of her. Yep. I'm gonna make a new layer now for her eyes, because if you go in, if your like layer is the same one, you can't move it, which is kind of sucky. It's hard to draw it. There we go. And people in this little dirty. There we go. Now merge that layer. And then I'm going to use a smaller brush for her nose. I'm actually going to zoom up too. That needs to be smaller yet. So I'm using the smallest brush now. There we go, that should look a little better. Yeah, looks a little better. Not 100%, but better. There we go. Too big. There we go. I think this. Nope. Whoops. Okay, there we go. I think that's it. Now you can just do all your line arting and that. I think that's good. Whoops. There we go. cover them in somewhere. Sorry if sniffling. It's a bit cold in our house. It's hot outside. Not my favorite kind of thing, but whatever. Now we begin the tail. Tail. The tails I usually try to do more fine line because they're like a bit fluffier. But sometimes that just doesn't work. Just erase that. That's the brush. Power of the brush. Call me. Same thing with back paws. The middle toe is usually bigger or longer than the side ones. And now the foot that makes me cry. Enough that would probably fill the Nile River. Okay. Now when I go to details, I usually use a heck of a lot smaller brush. Take this tongue here. This needs to be done with a smaller brush. And markings, I usually do a smaller brush. You can also add stuff as you go along if you want. I'm going to make this one a separate layer because it's parts you can sometimes mess up. There we go. You can add your details when you're more into smaller stuff. There's a nail. This is probably the best cave I've actually drawn all year, to be honest. Which is kind of saying something. And there you have it. You have your Woofy. There it is. That's how you draw your wolf. Or your wolf character if you want. So, with that, I leave you to your drawing, and I hope that this helped you in some way, and I will see you all sometime else. Bye!